Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, July 24. The Ministry of Education has set guidelines for the phased reopening of schools for the upcoming academic year in light of COVID-19. Portfolio Minister Carl Samuda says that as it finalizes preparations, the ministry will be adopting a blended approach, which will see students receiving instruction via face-to-face and online teaching.
The world is changing rapidly, and our educational system must also evolve if we are to properly equip our students with the real-world skills they will need not only to survive, but thrive on the local and international stage. It cannot be business as usual.
Minister Samuda was speaking at Jamaica House on Wednesday at a virtual ceremony to launch a 14-member high-level commission on education transformation. He has subsequently revealed that as part of the guidelines for reopening schools, September 7 to 11 is to be Simulation Week. During this time, all schools are to have a day for each year group of students to be oriented with the acceptable practices and safety guidelines that will be observed on a daily basis. From September 14 to 25, only upper school students should report to school, that is, grades 4 to 6 for primary schools and grades 9 to 11 for secondary institutions. Primary grades 1 to 3 and secondary grades 7 to 8 students will resume classes on September 28, and those in grades 12 and 13 should report for face-to-face classes on October 26. The ministry says tertiary institutions may commence their blended learning programs prior to October 26 based on their level of readiness. The House of Representatives has begun to debate a motion calling for the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, to be given strengthened investigative capabilities under the law. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck opened the debate on the motion Tuesday. He argued that even though there was tension and friction between members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force and INDECOM, no one could deny that the agency had been vigilant and thorough in its investigations of alleged police misconduct and excesses.
There is no doubt, Mr. Speaker, that INDECOM has contributed positively to the reduction of extrajudicial killings by the security forces. I am confident, Mr. Speaker, that the strengthening of INDECOM's investigative powers will ensure that INDECOM will become more efficient and effective in performing its mandate.
Granting INDECOM stronger investigative capabilities is among the recommendations from a joint select committee of Parliament that was established in 2015 to review the Commission's legal charter. The Justice Minister says this and other recommendations will be introduced in a bill to amend the INDECOM Act, which he hopes to be tabled in the House of Representatives during this financial year. The amendments include giving INDECOM a body corporate status and expanding its functions to facilitate the sharing of information with other relevant parties. Another key amendment would empower INDECOM to expressly compel members of the security forces or specified officials to serve notices. But Minister Chuck says that there is no longer a need to pursue the recommendation of explicitly granting prosecutorial powers to the Commission, as staffing at the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions has been increased to deal with INDECOM case files in a timely manner. However, in light of the Privy Council's ruling in May that INDECOM did not have the power to arrest, charge, and prosecute members of the security forces, the minister says a bill will be brought to Parliament shortly to validate and indemnify the actions taken by INDECOM prior to that ruling. In making the announcement, Minister Chuck says this was because INDECOM had been acting in good faith when it took those actions. Recently appointed Labour and Social Security Minister Mike Henry has given instructions for the Work Permit Committee to be strengthened. He says the committee, which reviews work permits, must now include a representative from the Heart Trust NTA to verify the availability of skill sets in the Jamaican labour market before any more permits are granted. This was announced as part of a statement addressing questions about the recent arrival to Jamaica of 34 persons with renewed work permits. Mr. Henry says approval of the 34 renewals was granted between March and July of this year, but his ministry has no record of a work permit application for another related individual who came with them on a July 21 flight. All 35 persons are employed to Clima Insula Caribe Limited, which is contracted by Rio Hotel to carry out refurbishing and expansion works. The Labour Ministry says the renewal application shows that their skill sets indicate a range of specialists such as air conditioning, underwater welding, resort circuit, thermoflax, and resort air duct. The company to which they are employed had indicated that these persons previously completed projects of a similar nature in Jamaica, and their expertise was needed to interpret and execute the design needs of the hotel. The new Rio Hotel refurbishing project in Montego Bay is expected to provide employment for approximately 400 Jamaicans. And finally, the National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA, has received 20 new trucks to improve garbage collection across the island. Prime Minister Andrew Holness officially handed over the trucks in a ceremony at Jamaica House on Thursday. He said it was the latest example of government's commitment to undertaking the capital investments that will improve the NSWMA's service delivery.
This government is 100% focused on what matters for transformation.
Minister of Local Government and Community Development Desmond McKenzie says St. James, Clarendon, the corporate area, and the municipality of Fort Moore will receive 2 trucks each, while the other parishes are to get 1 unit each. The remaining trucks will be used for commercial collection.
And we know that maintenance is critical. The company that has provided these trucks have been offering training to the drivers over the last couple of days. We are equipping the drivers to ensure that they handle this investment in the best way possible.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.